Let's bring in Illinois Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi, member of the House Oversight and Intelligence Committees. It's nice to see you again, sir. So let's talk about House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer, who revealed Republican committee members are split over whether to support a presidential pardon of Epstein co-conspirator and convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell. What are you hearing about the pro reasons and the con reasons behind this, and why is this even up for discussion?
I think it's disgusting. It should not even be up for discussion. She has, not admitted to guilt. She has not told the truth, and she has not given a full accounting of what happened. She has shown no remorse. Absolutely, she should not be given any clemency, let alone a pardon. And that's the subject of the resolution that I've introduced in Congress. And I hope that, a lot of Republicans will support. Some Republicans think that by giving her a pardon, she will then cooperate with the committee. I think that is getting it totally backwards. By giving her a pardon, basically what she's going to do is she's going to lie, because that's what President Trump is going to demand of her in return for giving us a pardon. She should just come clean, completely tell us everything that she knows. Obviously, we need to get all the files, the 3.5 million pages of files yet to be disclosed to us by the Justice Department regarding this issue, so that we can corroborate her testimony. And that's the way to proceed right now. Anything else would be yet another miscarriage of justice for a group of people, the Epstein survivors, the thousands of girls, now middle-aged women, who've yet to receive a single measure of justice.
So Comer says he's not going to name names, but do you, sir, have an idea which Oversight Committee members are pushing for a Maxwell pardon?
No, I don't. And I think that, let me just put it this way. I doubt that they are going to say this publicly, because it is so, to me, so on its face disgusting. I think they're just doing the president's bidding. They're somehow trying to lay the groundwork for the president giving a pardon and saying, well, he has cover from people on Capitol Hill. I think that's absolutely unacceptable.
So you mentioned actions you are taking. There was the X post on Wednesday in which you said that Maxwell is reportedly seeking a pardon in exchange for testimony to help Donald Trump. And you attached a letter that you wrote to DOJ demanding answers about why Maxwell's attorney said, quote, there's a good chance she could be pardoned. Have you heard back?
No, we haven't. It's been silence. I've written a few letters to the Justice Department on this particular issue. And surprise, surprise, they've been dragging their feet in responding. But I think that silence is telling. I think that they are absolutely discussing such a pardon. I think this lawyer for Maxwell is probably revealing the gist of what's happening. And again, I think that it would be a huge miscarriage of justice and abuse of the pardon power, and unacceptable.
Are you worried that there are some kind of odds that she gets a pardon and gets out of jail? I mean, you said if. How likely do you think that is to happen?
I think it's a non-trivial chance. I think it's, I don't know the exact odds right now, but that's where we have to raise our voice with public pressure on the president and the White House not to do this. And I got to believe there are a lot of Republicans, even in MAGA, who don't want this to happen. And so we need to kind of work with them, put pressure on the White House, because, again, this would be a huge miscarriage of justice. She'd be getting off scot-free. And again, it reinforces the idea that there's one set of rules for the powerful, the wealthy, and well-connected, especially people connected to Trump. And then there's another set of rules that apply to everyone else. And I think that's, again, completely unacceptable.
Let's move on to Iran now, sir, because today, as you know, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law, they were supposed to travel to Pakistan to restart negotiations with Iran. Trump canceled the trip before they left. So what's going on here? Is it about passing letters and notes between sides? And by the way, why is Vice President Vance not participating, or at least he wasn't scheduled to do so, after leading the last round of talks?
Look, this is a colossal disaster. Operation Epic Fury has become Operation Epic Disaster. We've lost all our leverage at this point. And every day that this unjust, illegal war goes on, the pain to the United States is higher than the pain to the Iranians. And that pain, it consists of not only the human costs in terms of danger and lives lost in terms of our service members, but the economic costs, which you can see at the gas pump, the Iranians accelerating their nuclear program, and the hardline regime becoming more hardline, not to mention the fact that Vladimir Putin and our adversaries are laughing all the way to the bank with higher oil revenues. I think at this point, the Iranians know they have leverage because they have a chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz and our energy supplies. And as a consequence, they are in no rush to talk. And that's basically why their chief negotiator refused to talk to us, supposedly a justification for Vance not going to Islamabad. And then they basically pulled out of the talks altogether because they feel they have the upper hand at this point. And that's why Witkoff and Kushner, this illustrious diplomatic team, aren't going to Islamabad either.
So how do you see this conflict ending? What are the president's options at this point?
End the war. Every day it goes on, we are in a worse position than we were before. Cut your losses, bring our friends, partners, and allies to the bargaining table, and as well, the Chinese and others who have interests, and together use leverage and exert our leverage against the Iranians. That's the only way that this is going to end in any durable fashion. Remember, the gist of the agreement, the so-called agreement that Trump wants to enter into, is basically the JCPOA, which he pulled out of, that Obama had negotiated 10 years ago. And since then, their nuclear program has only accelerated, and they are in a better position in so many other ways, given their chokehold on our energy supplies, a vulnerability which was not previously exposed until the start of this war.
In a post on X, sir, you said in part corruption and insider trading are at the heart of Trump's chaotic Iran war decisions. People around the Trump administration are playing in prediction markets and trading stocks, profiting off flipping war and peace, and it has to stop. I'm investigating. What can you tell us about this probe, and which members of the administration are you looking into?
Well, look, I think just look at Polymarket. There are all kinds of prediction markets on Polymarket with regard to when the war is going to start, when it's going to stop, when a ceasefire is going to go into effect. And I also believe that there are people within the administration or affiliated with the administration helping to create these questions that then go on the predictive markets that they have control over answering. And so they are probably betting on this, on these questions at the same time they're making decisions about the Iranian war. And so I and others are banding together through the Oversight Committee to call for, regulating the prediction markets more closely, and of course, putting more pressure on this administration to use its regulatory powers through the CFTC to the extent that they exist in a more vigorous fashion. Because we just heard the other day a soldier who probably is watching the culture of corruption start at the top, betting with regard to the Maduro operation, an operation in which he participated, and he made a lot of money. And
like $400,000.
$400,000. I mean, there's a culture of it all starts with corruption, Alex. This White House is corrupt to the core. And when the corruption exists, it leads to bad public policy. And the bad public policy is now costing Americans dearly. You can see it with the Iran war. I say you can see it with the tariff war and other poor choices in terms of public policy as well.
Okay. Illinois Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi, it's very good to see you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alex.